What's the magic? What you got for me? We got class in session. We got the Nathaniel Hampton.
Yes,
What you
sir.
got for me
Yes,
this
sir.
week?
Well, well, it it's a couple of things. Of course, everybody know this Diddy trial is going on, and 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 in my opinion, I think it's a trial that a lot of people should be interested in, not just because of who it is and all that, but it's kind of, in my opinion, like a life learning experience or a learning curve that shows what some people would do for one, for money, and two, how people would sacrifice themselves just for fame.
Mm,
Because as watching this trial, and like I tell people, you have to understand sometimes how the government work, especially when you're dealing with the federal and the state. The state is more, I'm not going to say lenient, but it's not as serious as the federal, especially when they building a case against you. Because the thing about the federal, what some people don't understand, they're not going to come after you if they don't have any evidence. If the government come after you, they're going to have evidence or some type of evidence. They're just not going to come in there empty pocket.
mhm.
So, like I said, I was watching the Diddy trial because I think they charged him for racketeering, track, and all that. And it's just amazing how, as you keep up with the trial, how the prosecution is laying out the evidence and how they laying out for the jurors to see.
Okay, before we get too far,
Mm-hmm.
racketeering refers to engaging in a pattern of criminal activity to make money, often through organized crime. It's a broader term used
Mm-hmm.
in racketeering influenced and corrupt organizations, which is RICO. The
Right.
act describes 35 different offenses, including things like murder, bribery, extortion. Essentially, it involves illegal schemes to repeatedly profit from criminal activities. Now, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
If he's a music producer,
Mm-hmm.
if he's a party promoter,
Mm-hmm.
if he owns a clothing line,
Mm-hmm.
what is he racketeering? What is there's from what I'm understanding, the illegal acts they're talking about are pretty much sexual, but that's not what he makes his money on. So isn't racketeering kind of out of left field?
Uh, by what the evidence that they're giving, no,
Okay.
because he using his even though he's a successful music producer, but he in his line of work he using they showing that he using a lot of what's a good word, excessive force in running his company. He doing things against people will, like like druggy, like druggy. Like say we go to a party
Mm-hmm.
and you do something that you're supposed to do, and I'm taping you.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll come to you and say, "Hey, I got you on tape, so you better do what I say." He's doing stuff like
Okay.
extortion. That's
That's
where
extortion.
extortion. That's where extortion coming from.
But is what he's making, so they're saying he's making money from this extortion?
No, he using an enterprise
Mm-hmm.
to do criminal things. Just like they
Okay.
say when he buys drugs, he'll have probably one of his associates to buy it, but he'll reimburse them through Combs Enterprise.
Mm.
And like when he fly people in
Mm-hmm.
for the free calls, he used Combs Enterprise.
Mm.
And
Okay.
see, and what they had Kid Cudi testify yesterday, and he was testifying how when the little brief time him and Cassie was dealing with him and her and Diddy supposed to have broke up, that he not only burglarized his house, he also burnt his car, put one of them cocktail bottles in his car,
Wait a minute.
and burnt his
Diddy
car.
had this guy's house burglarized and he vandalized the guy's
No,
car?
no, his car. Yeah, he had his house burglarized. Because what he did, he called. Now, through the testimony, he called Kid Cudi and told him that no, no, let me take that back. Yeah, he called Kid Cudi and he told him that he was waiting on him. He was at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And when Kid Cudi came home, he found his dog locked in the bathroom, and like somebody just rambled through his house.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then the next one was when he bombed his car.
All over a woman, basically. That's their beef
Yeah,
over Cassie.
because
Okay.
he thought because him and Cassie was talking, but I guess Cassie told him that her and Diddy was done. But as you know, and I know, even normal people, girls can tell guys that, but actually, it could not be true.
But think about this. We have judges being arrested for not following political ideology on deporting people from the country.
Mm-hmm.
We have uh, an inflation problem where many people can't pay their rents. They're having trouble living. We have an attack on American education. We have a new crime bill being proposed.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard nothing that is a matter of public good about this Sean Combs case. Nobody's dead. Nobody's hurt. No, because the only thing they're talking about so far is freak offs and a lady who settled out of court already.
But see, the thing about it is Cassie is just one of 5 victims.
Okay.
So what they
Let's
going so what
okay,
they
let's
going what so what they going through now is what Cassie went through. See through the
okay.
Cassie,
What but here's
that's
my
where the arson come in at.
I got you, but this is my point. Is anybody
Mm-hmm.
dead? Ain't nobody dead.
Well,
Ain't nobody
um, well, we can say allegedly they not bringing that up right now. We don't know
okay,
everything right now.
okay. All right, my point is what they
Mm-hmm.
are bringing up,
Mm-hmm.
people's attention is going to some guy. The reason why I said kill anybody, because that was one of the things OJ that brought so much attention to the OJ case was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, somebody's not here anymore. Something has to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about wild parties,
Mm-hmm.
wild sex
Mm-hmm.
that to some extent
Mm-hmm.
people voluntarily engaged in. To some extent, now once they got recorded, who knows? But this is also something that has been known for decades.
True.
With all of these things going on in the country right now, how is this at all the best use of American resources? How is this the best use of poor people's attention? Right now, let's say this is about a black guy and basically black people.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Trump has reawakened the 1994 crime bill.
Mm-hmm.
He has made attempts to remove, or he has removed, anti-discrimination laws in the private and public sector. So now
Mm-hmm.
that's affecting our employment, that's affecting our money.
Mm-hmm.
They are shipping or attempting to ship by
Mm-hmm.
force. And the reason why I say by force, if you arrest a judge for not doing it, that's by force.
Mm-hmm.
Shipping people out of the country, and even if they ship the wrong ones, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Court is going to war with the executive branch because they're now overturning this police immunity stuff where they're saying, no, police don't have this carte blanche that Trump has been pushing and investing in through the lady that's over the DOJ.
Mm-hmm.
The Supreme Court is also pushing against this deportation of specifically Latino people, but Trump is trying to import South Africans, white South Africans in particular, not South Africans. All of this is going on. Is this really an important case to America, or is this a distraction for poor people?
That's a good question, cuz. It depends on how you look at it, in my opinion.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is, and like I said earlier when we first started, this case could be a lesson to everybody.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because the choices you make can determine what goes on the rest of your life. Now, a lot of these people who's testifying, all these people worked with Diddy. They all is guilty just as much as he is.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing of it is, the government always had Diddy under their radar. They had Diddy on their radar for a minute.
Why?
So what? Huh?
Why?
Uh, Probably. You know that shooting in '99 where J Lo was involved and some other stuff. Then the Tupac thing. Rumors going around about that. So
Okay.
it's no telling.
Okay.
So what they did, they got a lot of people who had worked with it, because a lot of people who's testifying besides Kid Cudi worked for Diddy or worked in his organization. Now, see, I think sometimes people get assumptions. Well, Cassie was all into it and all blah blah blah, which is true.
Mm-hmm.
But what you have to understand, the government got to her and
Right.
told her, "Hey, you can go down with her because you're accessory, because you helped give people drugs, you helped with the freak offs, you did all that, even though you was the victim yourself of abuse, but you still contributed into the crime. So if you tell us what all went on, we'll give you immunity."
But it's a party. Who is the
No, but
victim? Who is the victim? Is what I'm saying.
okay, like I say, they just on Cassie right now. They
But
just
I'm
on
saying
Cassie
they're
now. They got five. Okay, they got five victims under indictment. They got five people on the indictment.
all right.
Cassie is the first one. So they just on Cassie now. Remember, the trial just started.
Mm-hmm.
So they got to prove the case for victim number one. That's Cassie. Victim number two, that's supposed to be a minor. Then whatever evidence they have on that, they're going to present that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of us talking about Cassie, we're going to talk about the minor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then after they lay their case about the minor, then they go to victim three, whoever that is. Then they go lay out the evidence to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, people might think they just going on what Cassie's just part of it. Cassie's not the main thing. She's just part. See, like I say, the victim two is the minor.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what's gonna come? But that might be, allegedly Justin Bieber. We don't know, but we know it's a minor. Then you got three more victims. So I think it's still a little bit early. Like I say, they just laying out the case of how Cassie was the victim,
Okay.
even though she was, in it with him, but she
Right.
still got victimized and she was forced into doing things like it showed in that tape.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of I don't want people to think that the whole case is on Cassie. Cassie's just part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie's just part of it. The rest of the stuff, they found guns in his house with the serial number filed off. That's an automatic felon. That's an automatic felon. Then when they picked him up before he went to jail, they found drugs and I hate to say it, baby oil and stuff in his room.
Why does everybody care about baby oil? If you in
That,
this,
but you know what? They mentioned earlier, it hasn't came out yet because everybody's saying why they keep mentioning baby oil. But it hasn't came out yet. But in my opinion, I think because they say it is some type of something that you can put in baby oil that'll nudge your body. Because they haven't came out with it yet, so I don't go with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember them saying that earlier, before the case started. So we'll see where that goes. Because they showed mentioning baby oil, lubricant. This is the first time I heard them mention Viagra.
I'm saying none of this is shocking. The man is my age. I mean, he in his 50s.
Mm.
Viagra will probably be needed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, okay, if you into oiling up people, he's a rich man. He can have as much oil as he wants.
But the
It
thing of it is,
sounded,
cause, but the thing
it's
of it is,
sounding
cause
like
thing
what?
of it is, cause you can't drug nobody, without them knowing.
Okay, but this is okay. This is what I'm saying. With all of the stuff that's going on in this country,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, it's mostly black folk that's in this.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that the federal government cares about black people this much? No.
No, 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 no.
Okay, so
It ain't about caring for black people. It ain't
oh,
about
oh,
that.
but that's what I'm saying. That
Mm-hmm.
they done made this huge case, all these resources
Mm-hmm.
over a bunch of black folks partying. You didn't got they slipped you this, they slipped this person this, they was all smoking this and they thought it was this or what. But all I'm hearing is rich folks wilding out. That is almost every rich athlete. That's almost every record producer. I mean, I'm
That's
still.
that. That's why I wish people would
He can't lead a country.
listen to the court because you see, people think freak off is what it's all about. That's not what the trial is all about.
I'm
That's
saying
what that's what people
even
getting it wrong at. That's what not the
okay.
trial.
If it's about people being drugged, if it's about um,
Extorted.
people being extorted, I'm saying I have not heard, and they put out their complaint. All they said uh, is the RICO Act, right? The racketeering.
Mm-hmm.
That means whatever it is that he's doing has turned into money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I take a picture of you and I hold it over your head, I'm extorting you. That's not racketeering. Unless I say you got to work on my label, you got to work on my label because I'm extorting you, and the money that I make from that, okay, now I got you. But that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because A, he was on in Bad Boy. People was begging him to get on Bad Boy. And
He went to the girl parents and told her if you don't give me $20,000, I'm gonna show these pictures on the internet. That's extortion.
okay,
That's extortion.
that's extortion. And I'm saying if you would have said he's being charged for extortion, I'm like, okay, cool. What caught my ear is racketeering.
Well, that's
That means
right.
I have a income stream, a continual income
Mm-hmm.
stream from
Mm-hmm.
doing that.
Well,
And and
you
now wait a
got.
minute, but hold on.
Mm-hmm.
What is Diddy's net worth?
Well, it was in the billions. Now it's in the million.
1 billion. It's around 1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
How likely or how much sense does it make? You think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would a billionaire go to someone's parents and ask for $20,000? Some stuff just don't make sense. You
Well, hey,
when
Hey, you say that, Cub, but the evidence that they showed, he did it. He see what it is. They got him on paper trail.
Okay.
They got him on paper trail. All
I'm
that
go
stuff is on the email.
I'm
And
gonna
when
make
she
a
sent, and when
I'm
she
gonna make
sent him, go ahead.
I'm gonna make a bold prediction.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know nothing about the case. And like you just said, the case just started.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy going home.
I don't think so. Unless, because
Somebody is where's Bill Cosby right now? At home.
yeah, I don't know.
And
But
they
because
what they wanted to do to Bill Cosby was not send that man in jail. They wanted to ruin him. That's what they tried to do with Michael Jackson.
you know,
I'm telling you, I bet you a fat man, I ain't got a fat man to lose. This is much to do about nothing. They
you
talking about a
know,
whole bunch of people that the government does not care about. Somebody is trying to ruin that man. They're trying to ruin, they're making him spend all his money. And I don't know if they want his music library. I don't know what it is that they want from him. I don't think that he did not do what they're saying he did. I'm saying
so
if
on
we
that on that note,
what
when you said that,
what
then why shouldn't he be punished? Cause see, to me, cause
okay.
this is like okay, cause I had this argument before.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really argument, but discussion. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they always tore down the black man. You know, the government always tore down the black man. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, in history, that is true.
No, currently that's true, but go
Right,
ahead.
right, right. That's what I'm saying. Through history, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
But that just like, to me, that's just, okay, the government been doing it for years. So if a drug dealer sell drugs to the community, kill people, wreck people home, then the
Mm-hmm.
feds take him to jail. Then the
Mm-hmm.
feds is just trying to hang this man because he a black man. No, this dude broke the law.
Okay, as did the people that sold it to him. Why aren't they ever going after
Right.
them? But no, no,
We
no. Let's stick with
that's
your
true.
example.
That's true. That's true.
Yes,
But
yes.
we know how the government is. But it's your choice.
Which is my
You
point.
you have the
Which is my
choice
point.
and
The
to sell
government,
the drugs.
but
You
no,
have the choice to
no,
sell the
no, no,
drugs.
no. Don't get moral when it get to us. That's the problem. We've been trained to get moral when it comes to us. If the government is going to enforce drug dealing, messing
Mm-hmm.
up the community, all that stuff you saying, and everybody got a
Mm-hmm.
choice. Why do you
Mm-hmm.
stop at the brother that's selling it in the community? You're not never stopping the people at the border. You're not stopping the people that's moving it through the country. You're not
No.
stopping the people that's moving it on the planes, trains, and automobiles. They never have done that. So why
No.
do we get demoralizing when it gets to us? What I'm saying is there are things that are going on right now that are, it is almost obvious of the things that we're ignoring. It is almost obvious that we got 9 minutes. It's almost obvious
Mm-hmm.
that this is a campaign to bring him down. People who have done what I believe he's guilty of doing
Yeah.
get out on bail.
Well, I agree.
He didn't say, I will surrender my plane. I will give $50 million. I will stay in one of my three houses, blah, blah, blah. This is it's too extreme for now. If it's like, man, I hope we found bodies at his house, this person is a danger to society. But you're leading off this bombshell investigation with parties. And everybody who is talking about it is saying, well, it could get to worse stuff. Why would you not lead off with the most important things that have occurred, which is what has substantiated the time, the resources? That's the American, everybody talking about
But
the Americans, the taxpayers' dollar.
mm-hmm.
This
But
this
all
is
that
what
hasn't
we paying
came out
for.
yet. That's why I say it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see what evidence they have. That's what I'm saying.
It's
We
always a
we
wait
we
and
can't we
see.
can't we can't go on the propaganda of somebody's trying. We got to wait and see the whole trial
Okay.
and see what they have
His historically,
because
historically,
historically.
yeah, historically, when they got us, they put out what they got. If they just ruining us, that's what they do. I think he's gonna get out of it, but it may cost him most of his money to do it. But I'm not hearing where the victims are. It's either because it's not the same thing to I'm willing to give myself to try to get this opportunity. I sold myself and now I'm upset about what I got. It's like no different than Harvey Weinstein. Did Harvey Weinstein drug and rape some people? Probably. But a lot of that was people having sex with him trying to get something. And when they didn't get what they wanted or it didn't turn into what they wanted, then it's like, oh, but like you were saying earlier, these people around Diddy was selling their souls, most of them, to
Mm-hmm.
get fame, to get money. That's why they were there. Like I said, it's not like Diddy just got to be Diddy. I was in when I moved to New England for law school. The folks in New York was telling me about Diddy, and that was in '99. It's
Mm-hmm.
2025. Everybody knows that's how
Right.
Diddy get down. So the people who are close enough around Diddy know that. So why were you there? Because that's what you were trying to get into. It just cost you. I don't feel
Yeah.
sorry for people who avail themselves to a dangerous system. If I go into a room hoping I don't get burned, but I know it's fire in there. If I get burned, I can't come out talking about I'm gonna sue Nate because I got burned. Bro, I told you that was the furnace. No, Nate, he live in the furnace. It don't bother him. Nate like the
Mm-hmm.
furnace.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see where there is a victim. I think this is a huge distraction while the elites are turning back major stuff. And if more black folks was talking about the crime bill, if more black folks was talking about the changing of black history, if they were talking about the economy, we probably be getting some traction. But I'm not hearing, and that's why I wanted you to keep me posted on this. Where is the victim? Somebody got drugged at a party that if you
But that,
know,
but that is not it. You can't. Okay, that's just like you got an employee, right? Cause
okay,
you got an employee that works for you,
uh-huh,
and you know, you might not be doing nothing that much illegal, but you doing some illegal stuff.
mm-hmm,
You can't, especially a woman. You can't
okay.
beat on no. That's a crime in itself. Even if
If
she is, even if she is there voluntarily,
okay, I got
beating
you.
on a woman is a crime in itself.
I got you, but I'm saying we still have due
So that's a
process.
victim. So that's a victim.
Oh, yes. And guess what comes
Okay.
along with that process?
Right.
Bail. You don't shut down somebody's plane, shut down their passports, shut down, deny $50 million in bail.
No,
All of this
they
for
didn't want that
somebody
dude out.
for for somebody catching hands. That's not how our legal system works.
Well, we don't know everything he did though, cuz so we just at the beginning.
Okay,
We
did
don't.
they lead off with OJ? Did they lead off with OJ? Did they start off with OJ cheated
OJ,
on his OJ cheated on his taxes? And then they did every little thing he did wrong and then went all the way up to murder? No. They went from murder to he also beat his wife. He also a sellout in this community. You go from big to little. You don't go from little to big. That's not a legal technique. That's not historically how legal arguments are set up. So
but in
if
court, as a defendant in court, what do you have to prove?
defendant don't have to prove nothing, the
Okay,
prosecution has
what?
to prove.
Well, who got to prove reasonable doubt?
The prosecution has to prove their point beyond a reasonable doubt. The
So,
only
so
thing the only thing the defense have to do is illustrate
reasonable doubt.
doubt. Right. They say,
Okay,
well,
exactly,
mhm,
exactly,
right.
exactly. So, like what I'm telling you is they not making a case as of right now. Now, see, I don't
Mhm,
know what's gonna happen later on in this trial, cause so
mhm,
I don't want to try to sound like I'm, you know, boom, Diddy guilty. I'm
mhm.
going, by how the trial's going right now.
Okay.
But the way it is right now, like you said earlier, them lawyers just taking his money because they're not proving no doubt.
Oh, well, it's not time to. You the prosecution.
They trying to on the cross examination, but their cross examination is terrible.
I don't know. I don't
That's what
know.
I'm saying. That's why I say I agree with you. You said they taking his money. In that aspect,
Well, no, no,
they
no.
taking his
That's
money.
I don't think the lawyers are taking this money.
I, yeah, they
Whoever
taking his
had
money.
whoever has sicked the United States government on him. And we know that now white folk can't even deny that happens. They just did it to Donald Trump.
Yeah,
So
it's because
whoever did sick the
that
feds
liquor
on
company.
him,
Mm-hmm.
they know the expense he's going to go through defending himself. Him trying to run
Mm-hmm.
his businesses from prison costs him more money. All of
Right.
his appearances he's losing money from. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but we got 1 minute left. Go ahead, bring us out, bro. Bring us out. What do we
So
need? What we gonna need to watch? What's coming up in this case that you think is going to be a bombshell?
I think we're gonna have to just continue to watch the trial. I think coming up in the next couple of weeks is gonna be a lot of stuff gonna be explained. Because me personally, I don't I don't think the prosecutors made a slam dunk on their case, but Diddy's lawyers didn't help them.
Mm. Well, like you said, it's just starting.